so where you at? Where you, so where you at?
Good afternoon and welcome to Jabari's Martial Arts Academy. We're located at 43710 Shaner Road in Sterling Heights, Michigan. The segment is called Just Kickin' It, Just Kicking It with Jabari's Martial Arts. Reach out to us on Facebook, live there. Also, reach out at 313-629-8524. Like us on Facebook. We do have a LinkedIn page, but not TikTok yet. Hopefully coming soon. I'm here with a special guest and a special guest mom. These are two folks who've been with us for quite a while, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and herself in just a second. Just want to make sure you all know that if you ever have a question, you can always email us too at justkickthim@gmail.com. So again, my name is Olu Jabari, and welcome to Just Kicking It. My guest today is a very young man who has done a lot in his early years. His mom is here, who has made sure that he has stayed on track, not only out of school, but in school as well. So I do like the fact that she makes that the priority and he understands that. So now, without further ado, our guest today, I will let him introduce himself, tell us a little bit about him or what he would like for us to know, and then let mom introduce herself, and then we'll throw some leading questions out and we'll have some fun with the interview. So, tell us your name, sir.
Charles Caldwell.
And your mom is?
April Caldwell.
So, welcome guys to the show. Again, this show has been recorded. It's going to be going up on YouTube soon. And then our prayer is channel 72 and or 62, as we plan on getting it out to do a special on Michigan martial artists. So Charles, how long have you been doing martial arts? Can you recall?
Do I count the gaps too?
Just say the age.
Okay, 10 years.
10 years, and you're how old?
13.
13 years old. So his mom brought him over to the school some time ago. We've met and been very good friends ever since then. And I remember when Charles started, she showed me some video clips of Charles when he was little, and it was quite interesting and entertaining to see him with the equipment on, right? Running around screaming, looking like he's ready to beat up somebody for real. But since then, Charles has grown. He's been a beginner. He's been an intermediate student. He's been an advanced student. And now he's a junior black belt martial artist, one of the best in the country in the game right now. It took him a while to get to that point, but he's only like 13 years old. So he's got a lot more juice to go. So Charles, talk to us a little bit about how you feel about the martial arts.
It's nice. It's some hard times and some good, but it's nice overall.
What's the best thing? What do you like about it best?
Probably like a lot about like the people you get to meet and stuff.
Yes.
And like opportunities you get to have.
Yes. So you had a chance to meet some people from around the country?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where do you have friends at right now? What countries, or do you know? Like Canada, Ireland? Where?
Oh, Canada, yeah.
Canada for sure.
But nowhere else really.
Nowhere else. Now, you've had a chance to compete against people from around the world, right?
Yes, sir.
On the main stage, and we've seen you really do extremely well. Your mom is here, and she's probably got all the videos that we love to see down the road. So let's go to Mom. Mom, just talk about your son, what he's been able to accomplish, through the art and through your help and your family help. And I remember some days where Charles was like, I do not want to spar, right? And all of a sudden, something just happened. Boom. And I'm like, he wants to what? So tell us about this.
So initially, how I met Master Jabari was he came to my church, and we were doing a meet and greet with different businesses in the city of East Point at that time. Mm-hmm. And he was there representing Jabari Martial Arts. So I asked for a card because my son, I felt, was going to be a smaller young man. I wanted him to know how to defend himself. And it just took off from there. So we've been coming to karate. Yes, we have had some moments where we've taken a gap. taking a break, but we have stayed consistent. So with that being said, my son had, like he said, initially didn't want to spar. It wasn't that he was afraid, he just didn't like it. He didn't like hitting, and he's not an aggressive type of young man. So, initially you would think as a parent, this is a boy, you're going to push him to want to fight,
right.
You know what I mean? But I didn't take that perspective on it. I said, well, when he's ready, he'll spar, but at least he likes being here. He likes doing the katas. He likes working with the weapons. He's always spinning something and, whatever. So, he found his craft, so he seems to enjoy it. So I felt like once he developed that to want to spar or fight, then he would do that. So now he has developed that passion. I think sometimes he still lets himself get intimidated, but that's just as a human being. We all get intimidated by things that we don't choose to want to do. But I do enjoy that now he's doing it because that's helping him build confidence. But I tell him all the time that you hit just like I hit. If you lay one good punch, that person's gonna be down. So once he gets that confidence, I'm sure that he would excel in that as well. But, we are doing it, so I'm excited that he's doing it. And then, yes, we did go to Worlds last year, and we met all these different people from different countries. And it was a sight to see. It was it was an experience of unbelief, and just to be a part of that was amazing.
Yeah, I remember, like you said, Charles is so humble inside.
He is.
And especially when it comes to hitting other kids. He's like, oh, did I hurt you? You used to do that, right? Yeah. And I'm like, it's just a punch, right? And then when you told him, you can hit back because they're going to hit you at the tournament, not to hurt you, but to win the match.
Correct.
Right? So it's a difference in doing something to hurt somebody, but from a sports perspective where there are people who are actually not allowing you to get hurt, you can hit back and it's okay and the person's going to be all right. I think Charles has opened up a little bit more when it comes to that. He's now doing some sparring on Fridays over with one of our friends, Richard Plowden, who's a multiple-time world champion, and he's produced the most world champions out of anybody in the world. So that's good to know. And now we're seeing some of those great things come out of our school, where we have a lot of people who are on that world stage now and competing. And you're standing in line with some of the best in the world. So how does it feel, Charles, to stand in line with someone from Quebec, from Europe, someone from Spain, from Portugal when you're out there? How does that feel?
I mean, you don't really think about it at first, but it's like, it's just something you don't think about until it actually happens, and then somebody and then until it finally clicks in your head.
So when you went to the Worlds, I know mine went too, and I've been to a couple of them when we first started this, and we've taken quite a few kids. When it was time for them to call Team USA, and that flag was out there, and you guys were walking, and it was all United States and all these countries watching you, rooting you on. Even they were rooting USA. They were from different countries. How did that feel in that moment, just to know that you're part of a world-class team that is acknowledged throughout 50, 60, 75 countries? How did that feel when they called you out and you walked around that arena?
It was it was okay, because I didn't think it was gonna be that many people there. So to see that many people and cheering everybody on through the whole all countries and stuff, it was in a way weird, because most of the time when I'm at a competition, people they'll give you fist bumps and stuff, but they won't really actually be cheering and stuff you on and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mom, how does that feel to you? I know you've been to a lot of tournaments. You've been part of our team. You not only are a mom in the martial arts, but you're part of our school history, part of our administration. You helped build this. You helped build what we have. So for you to be able to be part of that world-class They call you out, you walk out. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. I did not know what to expect, but I'm going to be ready for the next year. So, like, I did not know that I was supposed to have all my USA stuff on. I did not know that I was supposed to have bells and whistles and horns, and it was so amazing. Everybody was so dressed up, and we were, like, in Oz. Like, we did not expect all that to happen, but we will be prepared for the next year.
Yeah.
So, but it was amazing sight to see, and just to see the camaraderie with the different countries, and people speaking where you may not have spoken before. It was just like a big family. Yeah, we're competing against each other, but we're all happy to be here. We're all happy to have made it. The lines were long, but I never seen anyone like get mad at each other. We just was all there for a purpose, and it was just amazing to me to see.
In martial arts, I always tell folks, martial arts is the only sport where no one sits on the bench.
Yeah.
If you're in the school, you're going to do sparring, weapons, forms, team forms, or something.
Yeah.
So, Charles, at 13 years old, you've accomplished what people are dreaming of accomplishing. You've accomplished something where you have parents in the household who support you. You've accomplished something where your mom does so much, not only for you and your entire family, but it takes a lot of her own time to push and to help you. And through them, that's been that way. We really owe a lot of gratitude to not only, God for allowing us to have, but your mom. The people in your household. It takes money, right? It takes time. It takes a lot of energy, but the benefactor of it is to see you grow up the way you're growing up. Doing well in school. You're always saying, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, permission to speak. You ask questions. The mannerisms that you carry with you. When you're in the ring, you seem to carry those same mannerisms, right? When you're out of the ring, sometimes you've seen people take their helmets off and throw it across the ring. How does that make you feel when you see students do that?
I'd be like, it's like, I wonder who they teacher or coach is, because... Instructor, because if it was mine, I'd be like doing like 500 to 1,000 push-ups just for acting out of order. That's
very true, and that would be from your mom first, and then you have to deal with us. Yeah. And I say that because a lot of students have not learned how to lose.
Yes, sir.
One of the things we teach here is we want you to lose. You got to understand that you're not going to win everything. A person who wins everything, then all of a sudden they lose, they can't take that. They don't know how to act. They drop out of martial arts. They'll train and they'll stop and they'll do something else. And guess what? They'll drop out of that. And they keep dropping out of stuff. Then their life becomes a total failure because they did what they did, right?
Yes,
so I think when you lose, that builds your character, it helps your confidence, and it helps you to understand, wow, okay, I got to work a little harder. Yes, now, you ever had a point where you actually lost the match and you felt like, okay, what do I got to do now? Or you felt like you shouldn't have lost, or what?
It's been a few times where I feel like I shouldn't have lost because judging is a little iffy sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is nice to lose sometimes because then it shows how good, like how other people have put a lot of hard work to get to where they are, right? To get to like winning and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Which shows that I also have to put in that hard work to win.
Yeah, that's great. Just yesterday, I was doing a workshop in East Point regarding sports karate, how to judge, how to call, how to do all these things. Your mom has mastered these things, how to judge, how to call, how to line up folks, and how to run the tournament, actually, where we don't have a lot of that going on. We have a lot of people who go to tournaments and they sit there and they don't understand the significance of how important this is to a person who's been training most of their life, and you make a bad call and somebody sees it. I mean, there's been countless times when I can look at your mom and be like, uh-oh, she ain't gonna like that call, right? Hoping she won't jump in the ring, and she's never did that, but she will let them know. And this is a question for mom for the most part, in regards to you traveling with your son, making sure he gets a fair shake. I know that sometimes you even walk over to the ring and find out who's judging this ring, right? And when you see that, some of the same judges, it don't fit too well with yourself as well as me. How do you feel about that when you see a call and you know what it was because you know what it looks like?
Yeah, it's hard. So I tell Charles that, regardless of what the outcome is, you try your best and you be respectful. So
Yes.
that's always been our motto. And I tell him, you let me act up. You don't act up. You show respect and you show discipline and you bring that to me. So we have had those challenges. I know that sometimes when he's getting judged and a person who's judging, this is their school that they belong to, sometimes they'll favor that person, even though Master Jabari has never done that for us, FYI. But so sometimes it gets a little hard, but that just makes us try a little harder for the next run. So it has been challenging sometimes,
Yes.
but I, definitely try to keep my cool. And afterwards, after it's all over, said and done, and the tournament is over, I do sometimes would go up to that judge and ask them, let's talk about it. Because I want them to understand, like, you judged it, I let it go, but at the end of the day, I'm that parent that has learned how to judge. I help at the school tremendously, and I want you to know that I have my eye on you. So,
And that's important because you don't have to be a black belt to know how to judge.
no.
You just need to know the rules.
Yeah.
If you've been to many tournaments like we've been to, we know the game, we know the rules, we understand. Now, there are some changes sometimes, we get that. But sometimes you have the same judges who are living in the 60s and 70s, let's just say 80s and 90s, and they're just not up to par. Nothing negative, it's just that if you don't understand, just say, you know what, I haven't judged in a while, what's changed?
Right.
That's all you got to do, right? What's changed? Just because you're a 99th degree black belt doesn't make you the best martial artist out there. And no disrespect to those folks who have those type of rankings, but we want to make sure that everybody gets a fair shot, right?
Correct.
Because not only does this damage the ego of the student, but it removes families fast and they never trust anything else they're going to do.
All right.
So before we leave, I just want to talk about your grandmother. She's been very active. She used to come out a lot, come to the school, which is your mom and then your family who supports you. I recall her, watching you when you were younger. I mean, you're still young now, but younger, and how excited she was just to see you with the gloves and stuff on your hands, right? Your grandmother's pretty rough. So I was just saying, how does she play a part in this? Have you talked to her about what you're doing? Does she mention anything to you about martial arts? Do you talk about it?
Well, she's always been a big supporter of mine because she's always there for me and stuff. So it's funny sometimes because if she'll see a video, she'll be like, you should have won that or something like that. And then it's just funny to hear those comments and stuff. But she's always been there. Even I remember at one of my first testings, she was there. And she was proud of me. She's always been proud of me and stuff like that.
Good. Anybody else you want to bring into the conversation that you feel needs to be part of this? Or should be, or that we don't know about?
My grandpa.
Okay.
I miss him a lot.
Yeah.
He passed a few years ago.
Okay.
And he was a big part because he did karate. So I thought it was cool for me to do karate as well and follow in his footsteps and stuff.
That's phenomenal. I never knew that. That's good information to hear. It just goes back to talk about the things that we don't discuss or the things that we don't know. And it's important for people to hear that, right? Because there lies a legacy, right? Some people are forced to do stuff, Charles. They're forced because he did it, you should do it. It's like the military. They got the military families. Well, my grandfather did it, and his father did it, and his father did it. And you might be like, well, I ain't doing that. So it's not a forceful thing. It's something you wanted to do. That's more important than anything. And then lastly, we talk about the martial arts not just being kicking and punching, right? It's everything you do. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you eat, the way you respond to your parents, your family, your church family, community, wherever you are, you're still in a martial arts uniform without a belt being tied around your waist.
Yes, sir.
So, and I know your mom, watching you grow up, having that honor to see her stay on you, has done a significant thing in your life positively, right?
Yes, sir.
And you know why I say that? Because a lot of children don't have parents that are going to do that. They're going to let them do whatever they want. And then they come to the martial arts program to get straightened out. And it's our job partially to help the parents, But we want the parents, they have the first job of taking care of their children, right?
Yes, sir.
We just play a significant role in regards to mannerisms, training. We pull out what you already have in you.
Yes, sir.
So basically everything you're doing, you've always had it. We just pull it out of you and let it and help you shine. You've always had it. You just have to pull it out. Like there's some things that your mom's working on. Like, wow, I wish he would. Oh, I wish he would. Yeah, she's gonna pull it out sooner or later. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I knew that, Mom. She's gonna be like, yeah, I knew that too, 2 years ago. So I'm saying that to say that you'll hear your mom and dad, you'll have a lot of parents and stuff saying different things, and you won't think nothing of it. But later on, you'll go, wow, I remember when she said that. You ever had a moment like that? I remember my mama told me that.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh, right? You, go ahead.
And then one more thing.
Sure.
His dad is very supportive of him in karate as well. He always is working though.
Oh, yeah.
But to know that his dad supports him 100%, and he just has to provide our finances for the karate.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to leave him out and not acknowledge him for being very supportive of you as well.
Yeah, I think it's important that we acknowledge the fact that it's a household of two parents.
Of course.
A lot of the children that we have here, some don't have a two-parent household. And it's very difficult financially, mentally, and spiritually to keep a kid connected, right? Because oftentimes, as you know, April, the people we have, different cultures, different races, right? And oftentimes it's different. We have him do push-ups and sit-ups. Next thing you know, well, my kid's not coming back because his arms hurt from doing 35 push-ups. So they stop. Or his stomach hurt from doing the sit-ups. And get this, he said he doesn't want to do it. Who makes a decision for a child when he's 5 or 6 years old?
Right.
So we say all this to say that martial arts is a sport, it's for life. When people stop kicking and punching, you're still kicking and punching. What I mean by that, we're kicking and punching drugs out of our communities. Alcohol, gangs, all those things are negative. So we're always kicking and punching by being positive and not using those things. So it's not just breaking bricks, which you have done, by the way. It's more so of all the things that are coming against you that your parents say, hey, I need you to listen, pay attention to me, because it's going to happen, right? People are going to ask you. They're going to try you. They're going to want you to be part of them. And you got to know how to say no in a positive manner. Still respecting them, but still being able to use the power of no, or knowing how to persuade yourself to do the right thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, again, we're live at Jabari's Martial Arts Academy. Get ready to wrap it up with Miss Caldwell and Charles Caldwell. The dad is probably doing his thing, working as we know. And we love Mom and Grandma and to your grandfather. Kudos, right? For talking about the martial arts and you staying in it. And there are some other people we cannot mention. It's just so many people that's involved in his life that's helping him out right now. Family, friends, whatnot. We want to make sure we acknowledge the fact that his parents and his household is one that many kids would love to be in, because a lot of kids don't have the two-parent household. They don't have the opportunities. You have to come to a place and train and have more friends around the world like you, Charles. So to those kids who are going to be listening, watching, and soon probably calling you and asking you, what is it really like? What do you want to say to those kids who aspire to do the things you're doing, who want to do what you do?
I just mean, like, push towards your goals and be able to accept that you might not be good at things on the first try and that you might not succeed on the first try. Just keep pushing and going towards your goals to succeed at what you want to do.
Excellent. Mom, any last word for some of our parents who feel like, I think I want to get them in, but I'm not sure, or anything you want to say to support what your son Charles has done and how you can help elevate not only what he does, but other parents? It doesn't have to be our school, any place that offers programs like this.
Sure. Being a parent is hard work. So you want your child to do better than you. Like, I push Charles to be better than I am in life. So with that being said, I've tried to find anything that he likes interest in. If it's track or swimming or karate or whatever, that's my job, I feel, as a parent, to get him involved in those things. So for any parents, it takes you. It takes you to get them in the door. It takes you to get them there on time. It takes you to, give up a little time of yourself to, to focus on your child. Like, Charles was my blessing from God. Charles is my only child. And I have stepchildren, and I love them dearly. But at the end of the day, this was my blessings from God. So I'm going to make sure that I take care of him and do what is needed for him to succeed in life. Because life is not easy. And I have to give him those tools and values to know that he can make it.
Excellent, excellent. And I think that's what parents need to hear, because some of them are very indecisive, because a lot of them are one-parent households. And at schools like Jabari's Martial Arts and other schools across the city, whether you're in Sterling Heights, Clinton Township, no matter where you are, there's a place for you. Just tell them what you need, get involved in your children's life, and stay involved. That's the most important part. So as we wrap it up, again, another great segment at Just Kickin It at Jabari's Martial Arts Academy. Reach out to us on Facebook, like us, share it, and also call us at 313-629-8524, and or send us an email if you want to be part of the show at justkickdem@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a great day.
Where you, so where you at? Where you, so where you at? Where you